Hey, you, and welcome back to the podcast. Girl, I am so excited to share so many amazing things with you today. Things that I don't see a lot of other weight loss coaches sharing. And so, if you're somebody who is in a position and you can take notes, I encourage you to take notes because what I'm about to share with you comes from several years of collecting all of the things that work and the things that really have helped my clients, really, and myself on our weight loss journeys to actually step into losing weight more easily. So I'm going to give you today 10 unconventional tips to lose weight more easily. I mean, because weight loss is hard. And I just want you to know that that's something I get and I understand. And so I'm going to share with you 10 tips that are completely unconventional because I want you to know that what you do and how you approach food and all of the things matters. This is exactly what I teach in the Seeker's Method. I teach women how to follow any meal plan, okay? Because any meal plan will work if you know how to plug it into your life. And the key here is really in understanding how to prioritize and plan for success through time management, because time management is everything. If you don't know this about me, I'm also a certified project manager, so this is why I'm able to think differently about weight loss and why I teach women how to obey any weight loss program. There's a quote that I just have memorized by Stephen Covey, and it says, "The key is not to prioritize what's on your schedule, but to schedule your priorities." And so today I'm going to share with you how to prioritize thinking differently about things in your life so that you can be set up for success in weight loss, okay? So I'm going to give you 10 of my best tips, and they're basically in two categories. The two categories are prepping tips, and then the other category is unconventional food tips. So here we go. All right, so, okay. When we're talking about prepping, now girl, listen, I understand not everybody likes to prep, but it is the secret sauce right there. Jesus and prepping secret sauce combination for how I stepped out of my fat pants. I want you, when you're thinking about prepping, to know that you being prepared is how you set your intention for success ahead of time. And you do that by prepping what you can, when you can, and as you can. And I'm not kidding. It does not have to be perfect. It can be totally a sloppy means of prepping, and that will get you where you need to be. So when I'm sharing these 10 tips, I want you to know that I'm making some general assumptions. I'm assuming that you have a meal plan that you want to plug into your weight loss journey and that you are planning your meals weekly, okay? So that's one of the things that I do first and foremost with all of my clients. We pick a meal plan and we identify what we're going to do weekly, and then we just work on plugging these 10 things into it so that it starts to fit our lives. Okay, so number one on my prepping tips is I encourage all women to pocket prep your weekly meals. And what I mean by this is if you don't have the time to devote an entire Sunday morning to wearing your apron and listening to, your favorite music station while cooking and prepping and doing all of the things to the point where your refrigerator ends up looking like a Pinterest-worthy pen. If you're the woman who does not have that schedule, then pocket prepping is for you. What I encourage you to do in your busy life is to pocket prep your meals. That means if you don't have a lot of time, cook what you can in accordance to your meal plan for this week. Cook it when you can, as you can. So I want to give you an example of pocket prepping. Last week was a busy week for us. I had a big presentation I was doing with my clients, and I was accepting new VIP clients and all this thing. And so I had a lot going on. And my husband said, "What can I do to help you?" And I said, "What you really could do to help me is cook some food." And he said, "All right, what do you want me to cook?" And I said, "I need you to brown up all of the ground beef and the ground turkey that's in the refrigerator. That's all I need. Don't cook it with any seasonings or anything. I just need it to be cooked." Because if he could prep that little bit of food in a small pocket of time, it meant that it was in the refrigerator for me that I could actually make many meals from as I went through the week. And the reason I pocket prep, and I encourage all of my clients to pocket prep, is because then I've just taken some time from Sunday and sprinkled it throughout the week, and it actually serves me throughout the week without me having every night to cook the ground beef for the tacos. And maybe on Tuesday night, I don't have to worry about making the ground turkey for the spaghetti sauce because it's already done. I can season it for the Mexican food. I can season it for the Italian food, whatever I need to do, because it was pocket prepped. You get what I'm saying? So I encourage you to lean into, assess your life, and figure out how you could pocket prep your weekly meals. The next thing is batch cooking. It's a little bit like pocket prepping, but a little bit different. So this is what I mean. Sometimes in little pockets of time, I batch cook. So for example, I have children and these children don't like to eat a lot of the things that I like to eat. So what I will do is I will batch cook. I know they will eat pasta. So if, I have a little bit of time on Tuesday morning after my Bible study and before I start to schedule the day for the kids, I will go upstairs while I am laying out the schedule and doing all of the things, and I will batch cook. I will cook a large batch of pasta. It's just in a pocket of time. I have a little bit of time. I'm going to make a large batch of pasta. Or I might actually cook up the rest of the skinless, boneless chicken breast that's in the refrigerator, or cook up all of the chicken and put it in the crock pot in a small pocket of time when I have, and I just batch cook large quantities of it. And I can either take sections of it and freeze it, or I can take sections of it and actually save it and put it aside for the meals as we go through the week. So I want you to see batch cooking and pocket prepping as kind of one and the same, but different. They're the same in that you do it in pockets of time when you have time, and you make large quantities as you do it. So I hope that might help you, and it might speak to you and meet you where you are with your relevant circumstances. The third tip for prepping that I want to share with you is to prep your morning at night, inclusive of every single thing that you need to make tomorrow successful. I don't know where I heard this from. I'd love to give credit, but I know that a successful day always starts the day before, and it always happens from everything you've done at night. So for me, what I encourage my clients to do is before you go to bed, or maybe as a part of your dinner cleanup routine, you prep your coffee. You set the table. I do this. I'm not even kidding you. You set the table for breakfast for the children, or you have breakfast maybe already prepped in the refrigerator. You have, maybe lunches are packed the night before and your outfits are set out. These are things you likely already do or know to do, but maybe you've just gotten out of the habit of doing them. So this is your little nudge. Start prepping things at night for tomorrow. I even go so far as to prep my waters because, girl, I'll wake up and not drink water all day. Like I'll have a sip of water and think, I don't know why I'm dehydrated. It's because I'm not. So what I encourage you is to even prep your water. If you're an on-the-go career person, prep your water, stick it in the car. Do whatever you've got to do. You know your life. Go so far as to realize that if it's on your priority list, then make time for it. Make it happen. Be aware of what is a priority to you. And if weight loss is a priority, then prioritize your time. Leverage what you can in a little bit of free time, in pockets of time at night, to prepare things that are on your priority list at night so that tomorrow is just that much easier. I go so far as to prioritize my Bible study. And because my Bible study is a priority to me, I prep it at night. I prep my journal at night because I know that any day that I start without God is a day that I am just going to flail. I'm totally going to flail. The other thing I encourage women to prioritize is to prioritize their rest. You know what? Because we don't. We think that, we need all this mommy time to numb out and do all the things at night. And so, we'll stay up and have like a binge fest of Netflix and whatever show everybody's telling us to watch. And the reality is we are set up for failure because we don't realize how much sleep deprivation impacts our hormones and affects our ability to lose weight. It will put your hormones completely out of alignment. I don't want to get off on a tangent on this, but here's what I got to say about when your sleep is dysregulated. When you do not prioritize your sleep, it makes you weak around food. It makes you caving into temptation. It makes you do all of these things aside from how it elicits a hormonal response inside of your body and keeps you from success and keeps you stuck in your fat pants. So number 3 was I encourage you to really prioritize prepping everything at night that will help you to make tomorrow successful, inclusive of getting to bed at the right time, making sure that you identify a cutoff time. What I teach my clients is if you need 7 hours of sleep and you've got to get up every day at 4:30 in the morning, that means you need to be asleep by 9:30. That does not mean that at 9:30 you need to start thinking about making the coffee, prepping the waters, setting out your Bible study. No, that means if you need to be asleep by 9:30, you very likely, if you're anything like me, need to be in your bedroom by 9 o'clock, which means your kids need to be in bed by 8:30, which means that the prepping and everything that you need to do for tomorrow needs to be done well before 8:30. You get what I'm saying? Identify what you need to have done by what time, and then work backwards to understand what you need to do in order to meet that timeline. I hope that makes sense to you. All right, we're going to switch gears now. And girl, I know I've had a lot of coffee. I'm talking a little fast. So I want to switch gears now and talk to you about the next section. And these are the unconventional food tips. These are the things that are the difference maker on your weight loss journey. These are the things that I coach women through on a daily basis in the Seeker's Method. Okay, the 4th item in my top 10 is an unconventional food tip, and it is called swap it till you drop it. Yes, you heard me. What I encourage you to do is that as you're starting a new weight loss program, to slowly step onto it, to slowly start swapping out the things you can't have as you ease into the things that you can have, and to identify the things that you're missing out on and identify suitable swaps, and to let it be a swap that is a little bit sloppy at first, but you slowly swap it until you drop it. Here's an example. On my weight loss journey, I don't eat sugar. I don't eat bad oils. And this is, this is not about oils, but I can't eat bad oils. I can't eat a lot of sugar, any sugar, to be honest with you. I don't eat grains. I don't eat all the things. Okay. So that severely limits what I can eat. And girl, let me just tell you, I miss Reese peanut butter cups. But guess what I found? I found a suitable swap, and it took a long time for me to figure it out. And I had to slowly swap it until I dropped it, meaning I had to identify the right kind of sugar with the lowest percentage of the right kind of chocolate, rather, with the lowest percentage of sugar that I could slowly sink my teeth into until I eventually was able to drop it. And I used to do this with, cacao and all these things and walnuts until eventually I got to the point where I was able to drop Reese peanut butter cups. And do you want to know what my Reese peanut butter cup swap is now? Okay. It is dates filled with peanut butter. I know you're thinking, ew, gross, get away from me, shut off the podcast. Let me just tell you, to me, it's a Reese peanut butter cup, and it's amazing. So I would encourage you, tip number 4, swap it until you drop it. Inside of the Seeker's Method, I really go into detail and help women to identify this. I would encourage you to just put some mental thought into this, put some effort into identifying how you could swap it until you drop it. The 5th tip for you is, you know what, when you're going somewhere and you're doing something, and you know there's going to be all the wrong foods. Girl, I'm going to sneeze. I am going to sneeze. And you know that where you're going, there's going to be all kinds of wrong foods. Eat before you go. That was a revelation to me. I'm like, wow, it never occurred to me to fill up before I leave. Yeah, totally do that. Or here's another thing. Take your own food. There have been many birthday parties and Thanksgiving dinners and things where, girl, I'm showing up with all the things that I need to eat. And I'm not doing it so that, everybody can see that I'm holier than thou. No, I'm doing it because I'm prioritizing what I'm doing in this season of my life. And weight loss matters. So for me, it's not about me going there and looking a certain way or fitting in. It is about the fact that I am prioritizing what matters to me in this season of my life. Okay, number 6. Anticipate your hunger. You have met yourself before. So many of my clients, and this used to be me, so I'm not saying this as a braggart, or anything like that, but so many of my clients struggle in this area. They will say, you know what, Sherrie, I struggle, on certain days of the week because these are the days where I got to run my children. He has to be at tutoring, and then she has to be at Girl Scouts, and then he has to be picked back up, and then I drop everybody at Awana, and, Wednesdays and Fridays are the worst days, and they're the ones that always trip me up. And they trip somebody up because they do not anticipate their hunger. You have met yourself. You know where you are weakest. If you are an on-the-go woman, identify what foods you can take with you. That way you're not stuck eating your son's chicken McNuggets as you hand them back to him because you are ill-prepared. I mean, no judgment. Trust me, girl, I feed my kids McDonald's a lot. It just happens. It's also one of the few places around me that when we're busy, we can stop at. The point is this: you've met yourself. You know that you're going to be hungry. Stick a whole bag of apples in your car if you need to. Stick a whole bag of carrot, whatever. It doesn't have to be perfect. The point is, you know you're going to get hungry. So plan into that with expectancy. You know it's going to happen. Okay, number 7, prioritize and pack a mom on the go snack pack, or just create what I like to call a metaphorical mommy diaper bag, okay? This is where you anticipate the fact that there are going to be crazy weeks, there's going to be crazy days, and you can't always, pack things to be on the go for yourself. So pack them in advance. Prioritize and have a mommy to go diaper bag at all times that you can have things in. So that might look like on Sundays when you come back from grocery shopping, or whatever day you do grocery shopping, you assign to one of your children, okay, take this measuring cup of a 1/4 cup and measure out walnuts and pistachios and put them in these little snack baggies. Or maybe you identify some kind of trail mix that you can make, and you have one of your children help you. You outsource this. If they are old enough to play on their phone, they are old enough to help you meal prep. Let me just tell you. I only know that from experience. And even Landon can do this, so your child can do this. The point is this: to create a mommy diaper bag. You know what it was like when your baby was a newborn. You anticipated their hunger. And you had things besides the milk that you could keep in the diaper bag at all times in case you were somewhere and the child was unexpectedly ravenous. You are no different. Mother yourself, pack a mommy diaper bag, have it with you at all times. I'm not kidding you. The center console of my car is chocked full of all kinds of little snack things that I have for myself for when we're in those exact situations. And these are the things that have been the difference maker in me getting out of my size almost 12 pants and getting into the size that I'm in now. I'm not sharing that with you because I'm holier than thou or bragging. I'm sharing that with you because I also want you to be free. All right, number 8. Anticipate your hormones and be ready with well-researched compliance snacks. For example, I eat a certain way, and so Thanksgiving and Christmas are coming up. And you know what I do? I go out to the store and I buy the RX bars that are pumpkin spice flavored, because that way I know that when my hormones spike and I'm feeling a little bit sad that I can't eat the leftover pumpkin pie in the refrigerator or whatever it is, whatever situation it is, I have an option. And when my hormones come, I know that I'm a little bit more snacky than when I'm not feeling PMSy. So like I keep saying, you have met yourself. You can anticipate with some degree of accuracy when your hormones are going to strike. So anticipate that craving spike and have a stockpile of compliance snacks. Throw a few of them into your mommy diaper bag. Whatever you've got to do, anticipate your hormones and be well prepared. Number 9, anticipate food boredom and treat yourself with a new recipe on occasion. This is one of those things that we as busy moms and career professionals and all the things, we don't necessarily do for ourselves. We might make new recipes and pin all kinds of new things for our kids and for our family when they say, oh, I'm sick of eating the same things. You're no different. Identify new recipes and get excited about it and indulge yourself. I mean, that's real self-care right there. Sure, self-care is a manicure, all the things, although, that's not self-care to me anymore. Right now, I see self-care is anticipating that I'm going to get a little bit of food boredom and planning into that. All right, my 10th and final unconventional tip for you to help you lose weight more easily is to anticipate food blues and even FOMO. If you don't know what FOMO is, it's fear of missing out. It's where you start to long for the foods. There's the power of suggestion that happens on commercials. You see all the people sitting around eating Taco Bell, whatever it is. For many of us, food is emotional, and not eating certain foods sometimes equates to feeling just left out and sad, and it can be a trigger. So expect it and plan into it. Make your food choices and options, make them exciting. I'm sure you're not on a diet where all you can eat is water and nuts. And if you are, girl, no. You probably have a lot of things. You just need to put more effort into it. A lot of things that you could be eating. For example, I get sad, especially when it's my time of the month, when it's movie night, because I want to eat the endless bowl of popcorn. I just do. I love it. Full disclosure, I will eat all of everybody's popcorn. I want all the popcorn. Give it to me now, all the butter, the salt. I love it. So instead, I identify swaps. And a swap for me for movie night, I know this doesn't sound indulgent, but as somebody who's been on this weight loss journey for a long time, I can honestly tell you this is powerful. What I do when I'm about to watch a movie is I have a bunch of pre-prepped snacks, like a big crudité platter, if you will, and I have some kind of indulgent dip. Or another thing that I like to have for movies is I cut up a whole big head of cauliflower, and I make a big dipping bowl of hot sauce and ranch mixed up, and I dip all of the cauliflower one by one because it's all about the crunch for me. I love it. And when I'm sitting there and everybody has their popcorn, I have my great big bowl of whatever it is I'm snacking on, and I feel totally indulgent. And the same is for anticipating your food blues with family dinner. The kids and I, the whole family, who doesn't love a big spaghetti night, okay? I love spaghetti night. I plan ahead. If I know I'm making spaghetti and I've batched a big thing of pasta in advance, I will go to the store and buy either zucchini or a spaghetti squash. And I will allow myself to sit with the family and have spaghetti too. I just swapped out the pasta for the type of noodle that I can eat, and that's either spiralized zucchini or spaghetti squash. Another thing is pizza night. I've identified swaps so that I can feel like I'm a part of the party. Does that make sense? Okay. So the parting words I have for you, I know this episode was a little bit longer, is when we are led by the lusts of our flesh, it is so hard to say no. But you never realize just how emotionally connected you are to food until you try to say no to it while still living in its presence. Can you relate to that? Sometimes saying no to just the wrong foods at the right time is you saying yes to God at just the right time. And in that, you are positioning yourself to be made stronger in your spirit so that you're not controlled anymore or mastered by your fleshly cravings, because that is the perpetual state of sabotage that keeps you stuck in your fat pants. So as you seek God's help on your weight loss journey, don't look at what you're saying no to as much as what you can say yes to, and plan into that. Give God all of those foods that you love and watch what He will give you in return, even in weight loss. Now, what I want to say to you is if these tips speak to you and you want a supportive community, I encourage you to look into the Seeker's Method. There's a price point for everybody. There's a means of doing it that fits every lifestyle. I encourage you to just, pray about it and ask God if you are in a season where seeking Him is finally more important than just seeking a number on the scale.